Ushi. Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to talk about CRK's new summer minigames, that is the Glorious Voyage. When you play this minigame, have you ever got a high score above 10 million? If you haven't, then I have a few tips and tricks to share with you. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing you want to do is to prepare for your voyage. You can choose one out of 6 cookies to be the captain of your ship. In this season, the available cookies are Java cookie, manju cookie, oyster cookie, marshmallow bunny cookie, Captain Caviar cookie, and Candy Diver cookie. Each cookie will have a different skill that will be helpful to your voyage. And each cookie will have 4 different skills that you can unlock based on the cookie star level. So I suggest that you choose a cookie with the highest star level. The next thing you will prepare is the cargo load to get an extra cargo funds. If you fill 100k volume of cargo load, you will get an extra 5k funds. Now, to fill the 100k volume, you can use the general goods first, that is the goods that you can produce in your kingdom, and you can use the premium goods for the remaining volume. I suggest that for the premium goods, you use the spyglass and the map. Do not use the pillar, the bricks, and the compass because you will need it to unlock lands in your kingdom and to upgrade landmark and also buildings in your kingdom. When you finish your preparation, you can start the sail. Now, tips number 1 in sailing is you have to immediately check the request when you start sailing. Tips number 2. After you check the request, you will firstly go to the island that provided the specialty items needed. And you buy the specialty item first. Tips number 3. Plan your route to the requested island, whether it's direct travel, like from island A to island B, or clockwise or counterclockwise travel. For example, from island A to island C below it, and then to island B, beside island C. Island B is the requested island, and island A is the island that you're currently on. Now, in tips number 3, you only plan it first. Don't go sailing yet. Only plan it in your head so you know your next destination. And you could go to tips number 4. That is to check every lower price item for the most profitable item that you can sell in your next destination and buy it to the max, aka use all your funds on it. Okay, you have to check every single items that's currently on lower price. Which one will give you the most profit? I repeat, you have to check which item will give you the most profit And don't forget to check the number of turns left in this chapter and see if the turns is enough for you to get into your next island. Because if you already buy a lower price item that is to be sold at higher rates in the next island, and in the middle of the journey the chapter change, then the prices will also change. There is no guarantee that the item that you already bought will still be sold at higher price in your next destination. So please pay attention to it. Okay? Now, we'll go to tips number 5. Don't forget to collect bottles and repairing kit in your travels. Bottles will give you a lot of useful things like new requests, treasure map fragments, and manju or jagai cookie soul stone or soul prisms. So don't forget to pick a route that will pick up the bottles and the repairing kit to give an extra ship HP. Okay? Now, tips number 6. Always buy every island specialties and lower price items that is to be sold in higher price in another island. Do not ever sell them for lower prices. And also, if you already completed the request in this chapter, you can travel around the map clockwise or counterclockwise. So please always apply tips number 6 in your travel. Okay? Now, we'll get into tips number 7. If you're low on funds to buy lower price items, sold your specialty items that is currently at higher price to cover up for the funds. Okay? And then we'll get into tips number 8. Always pay attention to the number of turns left in the chapter. Item prices always change in every chapter, like I already said before. Now we'll get into tips number 9. Always buy every lower price item in last island before getting into the next chapter. It is different from tips number 6 because in tips number 6 you only buy lower price items that you will immediately sold in higher price in the next island. But if it's on the last island before the chapter change, you have to buy every lower price item in the last island that you can get before the chapter reset. Because the items that are sold in lower prices tend to have higher prices in the next chapter, whether it is on the same island or not. because I've noticed a trend that if you buy an items in the lowest price in an island, in the next chapter, that item will be sold for higher price in the same island. You could try it yourself to see if it's correct or not. Now, we'll go into tips number 10. If you have less than 5 turns left in a chapter, this is after you buy all the lower priced items, it is better to dock in the island you are currently on than to set sail. The cost of sailing is 100 HP per trials, but if you dock, it only costs you about 50 HP per turn. So it's much more profitable for you if you just dock on the island. Okay? Tips number 11. The voyage will automatically end in the end of chapter 7. So, if you have a low ship HP, or you are in the end of chapter 7 with a couple of turns left, the first thing you want to do is try to get into an island where you can sell most of your specialty items in higher prices. If you can get to a new island before the chapter 7 ended, or before your HP reached 0, then please buy the lower priced items that have higher price in the next island. Always do tips number 6. Okay? Now, we'll get into the last tips that I have for you. That is to always sold all of your items in the last island you could get on before the voyage ended, whether it's by the end of chapter 7 or by the end of your ship HP. Okay? But you have to note this. Try to get to at least chapter 5 every time you play the Glorious Voyage, because it is better if you got until the end of the voyage, because it will give you more points in the point calculation. Okay? And that is all the tips that I can give you. Now, I want to show you a footage of me playing this mini game and applying all the tips that I have given you. So, please enjoy it and see you in the next video.